Oh, my God.
I see you getting a little choked up there. What was it like to hear that?
It was surreal. I didn't know that the Zoom was going to have Ms. Winfrey on it. And then her box, it went from Penguin Random House to Oprah Winfrey's face.
So you thought you were just chatting with, like, your editor or something?
Yeah, my editor, my publicist, and they were telling me that unfortunately my pub date had been moved 2 weeks, and they said unfortunately, and I went into terror, like, what is happening?
Right.
And then the box changed, and there she was.
You started writing this book in high school, right?
Yeah.
What grade and where did you think you were going with it when you began?
It was, I think, a month before I graduated high school. The first chapter I wrote at 16, and then the rest of the book at 17.
Wow.
That is insane.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I know. So I just wrote it through 17, and then signed my contract on my 18th birthday.
That's amazing.
And
That is.
this story, a fictional story, but it was based on something real that happened.
It was inspired by a 2016 case that broke in the Bay Area where a young girl was sexually abused by Bay Area police officers. And I was a young teenager, born and raised in Oakland, at the time that this case broke. And I remember just like paying attention to this and focusing on just like this whole case. It was consuming our local media and being really kind of taken by the way that the media seemed to focus more on the police department than on the harm done to this girl and the thousands of other girls and women that this happens to, and we like never get to hear it in a courtroom or a newspaper.
Yeah, I mean, you even write in the author notes that it's a reflection of the types of violence that Black and brown women can often face. Why do you think you need or wanted to highlight that for readers?
I think often the world forces Black and brown girls to care for others and to neglect our own vulnerability. And so I wanted this book to really show the ways that we can be fragile and how the world doesn't protect us. And I wanted to center that because I think a lot of stories just don't.
In so many ways, I feel like Black and brown women carry the weight of the world on their shoulders on a daily basis. But when you're writing something like this, something so real, so intimate, so heavy, what did you learn about yourself?
I mean, I had to really immerse myself in this character's head. I learned to teach myself that it was okay to be vulnerable, to be fragile, to be soft, to grieve, and also to allow myself to not care for everyone else. Because you're right, we're forced to put the world on our shoulders, but it's not ours to carry.
I mean, if you were 30 right now, it would be a young age
That's
to
what I was
publish a
thinking.
novel,
Yeah.
right? And you're 19 years old. So I am really just curious about when you started writing, when you picked up pen and paper or got your computer open, and how you found your voice to be this good, this young.
Thank you.
And so much wisdom. Yeah.
I mean, when I learned how to write, you know, I was writing journals when I was 5, and I think that I started with poetry and I went to short stories, and then I wrote my first novel at 14, my second at 15, and this is my third. So I've been writing since I could, and I think it's part of my nature to tell stories and to tell stories that we don't get to hear.
Were you also a kid getting good grades in school, or were you like blowing off school because you wanted to do the writing thing?
I was a straight A student.
Wow. Go either way.
It could, yes.
What do you, when your voice seems so clear, what do you hope your readers get out of this book, which, by the way, I got just now and cannot wait to start?
I hope that this book is either a mirror or a window, whether you see yourself reflected back to you through this book, or whether it's not something you've experienced, but it expands your idea of our world and our country. I hope that more people think about the ways that we're complicit in the harm of Black and brown girls and allow more Black girls to get to be kids and to experience ourselves as more than what the world expects of us.
Mirror.